Oh, wait, I was already ready. Well, this one broadcast. Good morning. Righty. Good morning. Happy Friday, Fit Life Queens. I hope your day is off to a wonderful, wonderful start. If you are joining me live, and I know this is kind of last minute, Mondays have been kind of crazy, so I've decided to move the Facebook Lives to Friday. So I'm hoping this is a better time for those of you to really be present and be able to join me. So as you're popping on, let me know you're here. Say hello. Let me know what questions you have. Yeah, topic for today. I said this may ruffle some feathers, and I think it's a really good topic. As we like come off of a holiday week, with Valentine's being on Wednesday. I know a lot of people love to celebrate with food, right? The Super Bowl was last Sunday, so yet another celebration around food, which don't get me wrong, I love food and I love to celebrate around food as well. So I partake in all of those amazing festivities, you know. So I love my chocolates for Valentine's Day. If you love chocolates for Valentine's Day, drop a heart in the comments. I would love to know. Do you prefer, actually, let's do this. Do you prefer heart? Do you prefer chocolate or flowers? I'm just curious. Or none of the above. Just drop it in the comments. I'm just curious for my own, just for fun. Me personally, I just, I mean, I love flowers. I do love chocolate. But I love more so just like sentiment, like romantic gestures, I guess, over anything. So Ken, if you're watching, even though we've been married for 12 years, knock knock, that's a little hint for you. Um, so today what we are talking about, as I mentioned, this is kind of a little bit of a controversial topic, and I'll talk about it first, and then I'll kind of dive into why I am talking about this. And I think, or I believe, a lot of people want, not a lot of people, because I'm guilty of this as well. Like, we want results. We want results and we want it now. And when it comes to, you know, your health and fitness journey, results are not always going to happen overnight. And it could come down to, you know, the things that you've done in the past, such as like your diet history. Maybe you've been on a diet for an extended amount of time and your body has downregulated because of the restriction in calories or the over amount of training. And so my topic, or, you know, what I wanted to talk about today is, no matter how fancy of gadgets you have, as far as like maybe it's a smartwatch, maybe it is, you know, sitting in the sauna, doing the cold plunges, taking a shot, a weight loss shot, such as Ozempic or Wegovy or semaglutide. There's so many out there. Maybe it's taking, you know, thinking supplements are the answer, or a weight loss pill. None of these things matter if you cannot get, if you cannot create a foundation, if you cannot make this a lifestyle, if you do not have that foundation. And you know, you've got to master those basics first. And we talk about this quite a bit, but I think there's so many things going on in the world where you see people doing cold plunges, which I do. I did one this morning. Actually, I did the cold plunge. I sat in my sauna, but it is a part of my lifestyle. It is a part of my routine. Yes, there's amazing health benefits, but just because I do a cold plunge today and I do one a month ago, and you know, so let's say I'm not consistent with these things that I'm doing, just because there are amazing health benefits does not mean that I'm automatically going to reap those benefits, because I need to figure out how to make them a part of my lifestyle. I need to make it a part of my everyday life. And, you know, we have to build that foundation. We have to really, really get good at the basics in order for us to see progress long that long-term progress. And then, it's great. We can do some of these things. So let's take weight loss pills and weight loss supplements, weight loss shots right now. That is probably the biggest craze everybody's doing. My husband was just talking to somebody last night who is on Ozempic. And he was like, he could tell something was off with this individual. And he's like, yeah, I'm taking Ozempic, and it side effects are depression. Side effects are, I think it was depression. And I was like, wow, like we could sense some depression and just some sadness in the conversation. And Ken was just concerned, like, what's going on, how can I help you? And his answer was, well, I am on this, and these are some of the side effects. So I think it's important to be educated and know what some of those side effects may be, and some people will be more sensitive to those side effects. So you may lose the weight. And there are a ton of people out there losing weight on all of these supplements that are created to help those who are insulin resistant or have I can't talk, or are diabetic. And that's what these supplements have been created for. And I'm not saying that they are not an amazing product that is out there, an amazing resource. But if it is something that you don't feel like you can sustain for the rest of your life, then it is pointless to be doing something along these lines. And I've even had some people, well, I just really want it to jumpstart my progress, and then I'll be motivated to continue. Okay, if that is the case, then I think that's, maybe that is what you need to get to see some momentum, see some progress, and get excited. But I'm telling you guys, it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies, and it's not always going to be easy. So, taking the easy route out is not always going to have those amazing long-term benefits or that long-term success that you're looking for. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I believe in building that foundation. I believe, even myself, even my coaches inside the Fit Life Tribe, that when we are faltering, or if we're starting to um just have difficulty staying on track with our own health and fitness journey, it's because we have started to move away from the basics. And I always tell our Fit Life clients, like, come back to that foundation. Let's make sure that those 4 or 5 things are really, really rock solid before you start adding more things into your into your day, into the things that you think are going to help you be more successful with your weight loss journey. So I mentioned cold plunges. Do I do a cold plunge every day? No, I do not. But I do have a goal, and my goal is up to 3 times per week. So I want to incorporate that into my routine each week. But the main things that I personally focus on, and the basis of our Fit Life foundations, is, making sure that you are focusing on nutritious foods. And by nutritious foods, I mean, prioritizing protein with each of your meals, making sure that you are fueling your body properly. And the more I'm learning and the more I'm diving into functional nutrition, the more I realize that, probably eating a more Mediterranean-based diet is going to help with inflammation. And inflammation is one of the largest causes of all of our diseases out there: cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetic, that inflammation. If we can get inflammation off of your body, you're just going to feel so much better. So first thing, of course, is nutrition. Nutrition is medicine. Food is your medicine. Number 2 is making sure that you're drinking plenty of water. And we always say, make sure to drink at least, at minimum, half of your body weight in ounces of water. So those are the first 2. Number 3, having some sort of daily movement into your routine, even if it is just walking. I think walking is the most important, most underrated exercise out there. So just move your body daily. And if you have a job where you sit and you are, very sedentary, maybe set an alarm so that you can get up and move a couple times throughout the day. And then last but not least is sleep. And sleep is when our bodies can recover. Sleep does so many things for our body. It helps regulate our mood. It helps regulate our cravings the next day. So if you are not sleeping at minimum 7 hours a night, you are not going to feel fully energized the next day. And like I said, you might kind of have those mood swings. You might have food cravings all over the place and you don't know why. So make sure that you're fueling your body throughout the day as well. So kind of coming back to, that first foundation is, eating nutritious foods. If you wake up in the morning, go straight to coffee, skip the breakfast, don't eat until midday. By the time you get home from work, by the time you get home and start settling down for the day, you're going to be like, I'm so hungry. And you're just going to want to eat everything that you possibly can. So just making sure that you are eating, small or just consistent meals throughout the day. Everybody's a little bit different. Maybe it's 3 meals and a snack. Maybe it's like 4 or 5 small meals, so that when you get home for the day and you settle down and you're not as busy, you don't just turn to the refrigerator or, turn to the snacks and just eat all of the food because you're hungry, because you thought, if I don't eat throughout the day, I can save those calories for later. So those are just some of my tips. I hope that this was super helpful. And remember, if these 4 tips that I gave you today feel overwhelming, if they feel like, man, I don't know how I can fit those things into my life, just start with one. Start with one goal. And generally we start with water. I think that's probably the easiest one to really, really dial into. And a lot of people are unhydrated. And when you're unhydrated, you also crave food because you mistake your thirst for hunger. So if you can make sure that you're hydrated, that's going to help with some of those cravings as well. So thank you guys for joining me. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I will see you next week.